It's that time, ladies and gentlemen. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 has been out for a while. We've all had our hands on the game for a minute. Now let's talk about who we think the best character in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is. What is up, people of all different types of ages, races, genders, and yes, even you other species out there watching this video. My name is OmegaPro, and Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 has a lot of characters in this game, but who amongst them all ranks the highest, in my personal opinion? Now, before I get on with this, I'm just going to go ahead and state that this is just in my opinion, and you're more than welcome. In fact, I encourage the discussion in the comment section down below, so that way you guys can let me know who you think is the strongest character in the game. Of course, this excludes any created characters, so we're going to be talking about just Dragon Ball Z characters in themselves. Now, I find it really interesting because Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 has gone through a lot of states where everybody was only using their created characters, and now it's getting to a point where a lot of people are using other characters like, you know, Frieza, Goku, Vegeta, and all that stuff. I've seen this shift happen in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 online, where a lot of people just seem to be taking a liking to some of the other characters for whatever reason that might be. They just want to play as some of their favorite characters or whatever. I totally get that. But one thing that I've noticed is that a lot of people seem to be claiming OP about certain characters. Like, I've heard it a lot for Hit. I heard that Hit was very OP. And while Hit is very strong, and he does have a lot of great options, I feel like he is not the best character in the game. A big reason for that is his ultimate. It was very easy to combo into in the beginning, especially with the free stamina break combo that you could easily abuse before his patch. But you gotta look into it a little bit more deeply and see that his ultimate timescape Molotov actually took 5 bars of ki and did next to no damage. That move is not worth it. It is only worth it to have something flashy go on in the screen, I feel like anyway. I would never use that move in a serious competitive manner when I'm trying to turn the tides of the battle. It's just not that good and it's too unreliable to hit. No pun intended. I heard rumblings about Dragon Ball Super Future Trunks being overpowered. I heard rumblings about Beerus being overpowered, and I don't think any of the characters in this game currently are overpowered, but there is one in particular that I think is the strongest in this game, and his name is Cooler. Final Form Cooler, I believe to be the best character in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Why? Let me tell you. One of the reasons why Cooler is so strong actually has nothing to do with his moveset, which is very good, don't get me wrong, but this thing in particular is also something that's unprecedented that a lot of other characters can't really tout about themselves, and that's Cooler's sheer size. When fighting against Final Form Cooler, the camera manipulates in a way that makes it hard to predict where your moves are going to go. So, like, for example, when I'm playing against Final Form Cooler, a lot of the times I try to go for a sidestep, but instead, with the way that his body manipulates the camera, I will backstep instead. Now, this is very important because if you've ever fought in a really good Final Form Cooler, you would know that once you try to backstep a Final Form Cooler, it is extremely easy for them to catch you and still reach you, despite the fact that you have backstepped after a Z vanish or doing something like that. When you try to backstep away from Cooler, oftentimes a good Cooler will still catch you. So what you're gonna have to do is mix it up with snap vanishes, mix it up with Z vanishes. Just try to mix up as much as you can, and if you can sidestep, that is the best way to counter him. But again, with the way his body manipulates everything, that is extremely difficult. Cooler's combo game is another really strong point for him. Characters like Gogeta, that I feel would be the strongest character in the game if his combos would connect, characters like him fall short to Cooler because Cooler's combos don't drop as frequently as Gogeta's. He has a lot more of a surefire way to hit his combos, because in this game there is a prevalent issue with certain characters' combos where they just sort of fall through due to what I can only assume are connection problems. but Cooler doesn't really suffer from that. Cooler has either really short combos or he can extend really long combos that are very safe for him to pull off. In addition to that, Cooler is also given one of the best evasive skills in the game. This evasive skill will automatically blind you and you have no idea what's happening, and this leaves you wide open for the freest stamina break of all time. So let me paint the scenario for you. You have maybe 1.5 bars of stamina, maybe even a little bit less, let's say. And your option right now is to just go aggressive, right? That's how you play when you have no stamina. You pressure your opponent so that way they drain their own stamina and you flip the game back into your favor. Well, here's what happens when you do that with Cooler. If he knows you cannot Z-vanish, then what he can do is use his evasive skill to automatically blind you and get a free stamina break. Because you can't see, you can't defend yourself, you are left wide open to get stamina broken, and you can't vanish out of the way because you don't have enough stamina for it. This within itself creates a major cheese tactic that any Cooler player can implement when they're on the ropes. Even if you have a Cooler player that doesn't want to do these things, that doesn't want to stoop to that level, the fact is that they have the option to. And that's what's so dangerous. Another strong point for Cooler is his ultimate. His ultimate comes out so fast, travels so fast, and is way too damn large. If you are on a smaller map like World Tournament, for example, and God forbid you are below Cooler, like if he's flying above you and he's charging up that supernova, you better start praying, you better start hoping, you better do whatever the hell you can to hope that you do not get hit by that bullshit. His ultimate is, put simply, too strong. There needs to be a nerf of some kind to either make it so that way it takes a lot longer to charge up, similar to like Frieza's ultimate, for example, or that it's not as big and doesn't travel as fast. One of these things needs to happen, maybe even a combination of the two, but regardless, one of those things needs to happen to change his ultimate because it is simply too strong. And going back to Cooler's size, like that is such a huge advantage for the character because his reach is just astronomical. And you want to talk about like big characters and stuff. I bet some of you guys are gonna be like, well, what about Broly? Broly doesn't have the speed and versatility that Cooler does. Broly doesn't have that evasive skill. Broly doesn't have Cooler's ultimate. Broly doesn't have those fast, easy to connect combos like Cooler does. So not only can Cooler manipulate your camera, he can also punish you very harshly when doing so. So there are a lot of strong characters in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. But I believe that Final Form Cooler is by far and away the best one of them all. Who do you guys think is the best? Let me know in the comment section down below. Again, this is just my personal opinion. I am very excited to see what you guys have to say in the comment section down below. Leave a like rating on this video if you did enjoy it at all. Subscribe here if you're new. We've got Xenoverse 2 all the time. Again, my name is OmegaPro. I'm going to catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace.